So we've got a lot of downtime right now for zombies, and I'm taking this opportunity to just go back and try to solve some of the things that we never figured out. One thing that has been bugging the shit out of me since the release of DEMPSEY'S has been something on the poster. Now, just a few months ago, I had made a video showing that a lot of the DEMPSEY'S map settings were taken directly from a movie called Where Eagles Dare. Even the poster was modeled after it. You can see the cable car, the castle in the background, and how the characters are standing in the middle holding the MP40s. After I made this video, I was like, oh yeah, there's stuff on this poster we haven't completely solved yet. So I've kept this in the back of my mind ever since we saw it and the map was released. And over the last week, I really focused on it because I wanted to just get it solved and get this folder off my desktop so I can move on. I've been collecting information on it for a while, but I think I finally have it solved, and I feel confident enough now to be able to make this video and show you guys what I figured out. I'll try to explain this as quick and as easy as possible. I went through a lot of data and a lot of information to get to the final result, so I'll quickly show you guys all of that. So there's a set of numbers on the poster that I don't think anybody's figured out. I Googled it. It doesn't look like anybody's messed with it since we initially saw it and speculated on it. Some people thought it was a date or maybe there are coordinates. From what we can tell, it says 12/29, 1780. And based on how Treyarch does coordinates and shows us locations through coordinates, this definitely matches that pattern. I didn't try to research this as a date because of what's going on in the background. I was looking at this more of a coordinate, and it looks like we only have one coordinate and we're missing the other. If you look off to the right, you can see some words. You see STA and then MAP, and to me it looks like it says star map, and that R is cut off. I feel like it says star map because there's an actual faint star map grid in the background. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, this is the grid that a star map or sky map uses. And it's just a map of the night sky. It helps to locate planets, stars, constellations, and galaxies. And it does use a latitude, longitude type coordinate system, and this number does fit with that. So this number allowed me to do 3 types of research. I was able to research a sky map and look out into the galaxy, and then I was able to search for locations around the castle, and then also search the moon's surface. As far as a latitude, longitude coordinate for the Earth's surface regarding like something around the castle, nothing really matched up. And in fact, we already got the castle coordinate from Shadows of Evil on the notebook paper. And this gave us a 47 north with a 13 east, which puts us almost directly on top of the castle. And on the poster, it's like 12 coordinate, and that doesn't match up at all. And it didn't make sense for them to give us 2 different coordinates that don't match up. So to me, it didn't really look like it was anything associated with something on the Earth or around the castle. And the poster, in my opinion, looks like it's only giving 1 coordinate, like latitude, and we don't have the longitude, which would make it almost impossible to pinpoint anything on the Earth's surface. So I moved on to the next idea, which is the sky map option, because there is a sky map in the background on the poster. And since under Horizon, the storyline is sending Dempsey to the moon, you would need to know where the moon was in the sky, and there would be a specific coordinate. A sky map allows you to locate objects in the sky at a specific coordinate and at a specific time. If you go to the Zombies Chronicles timeline, you can see when Horizon took place, and it was November 5th, 1945. And yeah, we were there to recover Dempsey in a rocket that was bound for the moon. I found this website here that allowed me to see the location of the moon on November 5th, 1945, and where it was in the sky if you were actually at the castle location. I was surprised to see that the moon does go over that exact coordinate on November 5th, 1945 for about 5 seconds, and it doesn't return to that same position for another 9 days. Sky map coordinates are not longitude, latitude. They're described as right ascension and declination. And this coordinate that I'm talking about is only the declination. This website only shows minute intervals, so I plugged in the coordinates of where it would actually show up, and it shows up at like 2:57 and 25 seconds. And hopefully I did this right. I studied it for a while, but yeah, the moon shows up in that coordinate on that day, which is a massive coincidence. And I looked around at other planets and stars, and nothing even comes close to this coordinate. So I thought it was pretty special that the moon did hit this exact coordinate, but I wasn't completely sold because on the poster I couldn't see a negative symbol, and here this declination needs a negative. I would be more convinced if this was like a 1450 something coordinate and it was the right ascension versus the declination. Although cool, I wasn't confident in this, so I was like, well, let's look at the moon coordinates. It makes sense that, yeah, you need to locate the moon in the sky to send Dempsey there, but you also need to know the coordinates of where you're sending him to on the moon. And I'm showing you guys all of this because it's possible that they did mean to do this declination as a coordinate, and that is the answer. But I'm a little more sold that it's a coordinate on the moon. So I looked up the information on what Treyarch has given us for clues as far as where Griffin Station is located on the moon. So if you go back to World at War on Doris, if you look at the moon with a sniper, you can see some dots on the moon that's indicating where the station is located. They did use the actual image from the moon, and you can identify all the craters, and they actually put Griffin Station inside one of them called Mare Crisium, which in Latin stands for Sea of Crisis, which is appropriate. So I was like, well, I've got a pretty good idea of where it's located, but can I find the coordinate of its location? And there's really no website that just allows you to plug in a coordinate and go to that spot on the moon. Instead, I found this massive list of craters and the longitude-latitude coordinates for that. So I was able to just find one that was pretty close to that location in that crater, and yeah, it's close to a 12 north coordinate. And to me, that is exactly what we're looking for, a latitude coordinate. And I took the Doris moon and put it over a flat laid out surface of the moon with that 1242 north coordinate. I lined up all the craters outlined as perfectly as I could, and yes, Griffin Station is just below that 1242 north coordinate, which is perfect. Which to me means that right below that, where Griffin Station is below that coordinate, could be the 1229 1780 north. Again, I wish I could find a program that would put me directly there, but this put me in that location, and I feel confident that that's what this is. If you were to plug in the longitude coordinate, it would give you around 58 to 59 east. So to me, it's very possible that Griffin Station's coordinates are 1229 north and between 58 and 59 east. And to me, this is solved for me. Like, unless somebody comes out with something better, like, I feel happy with this, I can move on. And it seems like a pretty straightforward answer. And just to confirm it, I looked into all the stuff they gave us for the moon location, and in the intro cutscene of Horizon, you do see the moon for like a split second, and it looks like you can see Griffin Station up there. I wanted to see if the moon in the cutscene was the actual moon, and it is. All the craters line up, and I just wanted to check if this was location information, if this was accurate or not. In the cutscene, they put Griffin Station in a giant crater called Mare Imbrium, which is Sea of Tears, which is really far away from what we see on Doris from World at War. Also, I couldn't get a 12 type coordinate from that. So what you're seeing in the cutscene, in my opinion, is not accurate, and it's just for representation that it's somewhere up there on the moon. But definitely let me know what you guys think about this. Do you feel like this could be the solve? Did I get anything wrong for people that are really good with stuff like this? I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see you next video.